Johnny program on UBC TV is
and we shall go to fight until Uganda is free. Kazahura, comrade, Seguya, let Magara, and let Roberesa. They fought a bush war, heaven encouraging, until when the blood was shed for Ugandans. Fellow combatants, compatriots in the struggle, our country Uganda must be free.
Hello viewers, I'm called Matoviane Ngoma, the Chief Whip and National Political Commissar FRONASA. FRONASA is a front for national salvation. After the advent of through the old struggles, and when we realized that we should not remain into the focus of revolutionary struggles, we decided to form FRONASA Veterans Association. The FRONASA Veterans Association was a realization and an advent of focusing on development, buying the advice of His Excellency, the President of Uganda, after declaring prosperity for all. That's what urged us to go back to our roots, our political roots and focus, and begin by integrating our members and fellow fighters, ally combatants, into engaging into building their nation. The FRONASA originated from the outcry and the aristocracy rule of the earlier medieval dictatorial leaders who imposed military rule on Ugandans and subjected them to death. And there came a question for the liberation. The liberation was, when we were in Moscow conference, it was for Ugandans. Therefore, Ugandans has to form into a body to liberate fellow sisters and brothers of Uganda. That's when the realization and formation of Front for National Salvation came, led by His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Thereafter, we merged with FRELIMO, we merged with Tanzania People's Defense Forces to host Amin in 1979. After hosting Amin, the element of greed was rooted and fully embedded in fellow fighters. They began by inflicting their own fragmentations within themselves, which caused the following atrocities. Yusufurule, who came as the chairperson, didn't last for months. There came UFM with Benaissa. Then Benaissa left. Then our comrade, Father Christopher Okos, played a role to merge all of them so that we can lead the focus. Then the element of greed, fragmentations along tribal lines arose. When it arose, they formed the military council. In the military council, with Paul Mwanga, led what was angering Ugandans to rig the elections of 1980. After when our FRONASA fighters have formed UPM, Uganda Patriotic Movement, which our President General was Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who is the current President of Uganda. Then the journey of resistance, uprisings, popular resistance began when Obote started arresting massively fellow fighters and Ugandans, and even taking the highest muscle and amount of greed, the winner takes all, because they had that one, that the winner must take all, so that those who didn't win the elections, and during the elections, the military council killed the people. That's when we got a seat in Kasese with Comrade Crespas Kiyonga, when they killed a deep member, Bwambari. Then what began the bush? The firearms which were in our armory, we called it our armory, not the government armory. They are the ones who started the wage of the struggle of 27 fighters' realization. Thereafter, the confrontation of Kabamba, we were focusing to go and get our firearms which we left in Kabamba. Then all the military grounds and functional and camps were made in the names of Fronasa, Kabarega, Mondrane, Abunasa, all those. And most commanders of all the Ruwero Triangle War were Fronasa fighters. Then the taking off of Kampala was a result of the civil strife and fragmentation of the Chikos Maroon. Then the Rutwa with Oito Ojok and Obote disagreed. Along rumor mongering, they created a rumor that Oito Ojok is going to overthrow Obote. Then they formed their cliquism in the parochial movements and maneuver. They decided to have him crash within the helicopter. The crash of the helicopter at Kasos in Ruwero, now then Nakaseke district, the fellow fighters of Chikos Maroon thought that Obote plotted the death of Oito Ojok. They said, we shall not wait for him to finish us. Then Rutwa, Bazilio Rarokero, and the like formed the faction to come. They overthrew Obote. After overthrowing Obote, they plotted that they called us to join them. When we were fabricating through peace talks through Nairobi, they killed Katabarwa. Then we realized that joining them is risky. We had to confront them with the command of our fellow fighters who were commanding all the commands. Then we besieged the whole of Kampala and overthrew them in 1986. Rutamaguzi played a key role because they arrested him together with his people, forcing them to leak the camps of the fighters of the popular struggle in Ruwero. They refused to leak the information, therefore protecting them. They knew the president talked about it when they were celebrating the Uganda Matters. He himself called them the political matters, that those political matters refused to reveal the fighters to the enemies and handing over, they killed them. So therefore, we have to revere, honor, and recognize their cold blood. When we don't recognize them, it will give a bad impression to the public that for us we are focusing to take the country and self-aggrandize on our own focus. That's why it rotates from them, and it is a recognition of them under the law of posthumous. In the military, they have posthumous. They keep remembering the dead. When you die, they don't forget about you. They keep giving you ranks. They keep giving you medals in recognition so that they can energize those fighters who are still in the UPDF to take courage and know that the military doesn't die, or the struggleists or the fighters doesn't die, they only fall. They don't say that they died. The Rutamaguzi fallen together with his comrade. The activities and achievements of Fronasa, way back, we achieved hosting dictatorship here. We took a great role to help Ugandans to revolt and fight within their country. We removed that or running out as refugee ship. In Uganda, we fought it. Then from there, when we joined a state-governed country, we formed Fronasa Veterans Association. After forming Fronasa Veterans Association, we merged the Great East Africa. We brought Tanzanians who were crowned with medals of Kagerawo and the Order of Rukaya. Then those of Rwanda can come, DRC, South Sudan, and those of Kenya whom we were with. And the more so to the achievements, we formed cooperative societies. So cooperative societies are leading a core role of development and building the nation. Of recent, we wrote a document and we submitted it to the Director Veteran Affairs in the Ministry of Defense. We from NASA, we have a focus that having formed economic gaining entities and companies within Uganda, which are paying taxes, we have decided that the pension and terminal benefits they are giving us go back to the government in the government fund and start constructing infrastructure as our contribution. Ours is no longer a military wing which fights war. It is a productive liberation organization. It is no longer a military wing, a military whatever. In the UPDF Act, we are recognized as liberation organization. We are an organization to build the country. This we copied it from Tanzania. Tanzania, they have Jeshi la Kulijenga Taifa. In English, it is the army which builds the nation. They pay tax, they contribute materially and build the infrastructure and construct schools and others than paying us to make ourselves, to make our welfare of our families and friends. So we focus on the population of Uganda. That's why we are forming so. Secondly, we formed what we call Water Revolution. The Water Revolution, we focused on the report of the World Environment Organization, which they said that we have shifted from global warming to global boiling. And the climate now changed in Uganda. We no longer have a stable climate. We resulted from planting trees. For us, every national event, when it is dry season, we take 5,000, 7,000 seedlings and plant them. And when it is a rainy season, we take 30,000 and above seedlings, we plant them. The challenges, we have some of those people, the understanding and the wisdom and the interpretation of issues. When I am addressing about FRONASA, you may find someone who is national resistance or UPDF complaining that this one is playing our role. No, I want to clean it and clear it. This is FRONASA Veterans Association. And others mix us with NRM party. When you reach there, most especially when I am on talk shows, when I meet these NUP, NRM, FDs and whatever, they say, for you are NRM. Ours is not a political party. Is not, it is for all people. It doesn't segregate. It also, those are the challenges. Someone to impart you into a color which is not yours. This is why when we appear before them, we don't conflict with them. We don't even shun even the ideas they bring. We guide them. We are there to play a pivotal role to unite them, guide them, so that they can lead a heresy competition within the political arena and agenda. The office of Ruwero Triangle needs a guiding role. The role is now making it stagger. It requires a role in press and the amendment of the Act of Ruwero Triangle so that they can specify whichever can cater for the fighters and the veterans and those who supported the struggle within the means of their stable and homesteads. But they sat in parliament and made a law by themselves without consulting the fellow fighters. Kaboyo is tied with the law. Whichever the law says, it is what she has to do. she is not allowed to go beyond the law. That is the problem. She has helped, and she has gone helping before becoming a president, because before becoming a minister, organized a trek. They trekked from Garamba to them, passing through all those people. And what I want her to do now, they have to document wherever they passed, and they document the problems and challenges there, together with the fighters. And another challenge within that means is one, they should amend the act so that they can create a body where the president must come and sit with the council. We want to call it the council. That one is for well. For us, it is a historical council, so that that council can look into what has been done by the ministry and raise a point of guidance that we have covered here. Let's also move to cover here. All this one is not the need of the historians. The law, when it began, there was a remained there. That's all that committee. Whoever they don't know, they don't know. Whoever they know, they know. And they don't take much initiative, the committee. That one is not the problem of the minister. It is the problem of the committee. The committee doesn't take initiative to consult them and be in touch with them. They wait for them to recommend and bring recommendations we are recommending. So likewise, this committee which the president constituted of the Honors and Committee, that committee doesn't even get in touch with the historical members of all liberation organizations. They only sit in office. Whichever you recommend somebody for them, they say, we don't know him. They don't give and they don't have information. For example, FRONASA has planted a lot of trees, but we find as given by those people who have contributed to the nation, not for the fighters, but within the members of FRONASA, who have planted trees which are beyond millions within the country. And the change of this climate to have a highest rainfall has come from that result. Here our heroes, as a theme of today's, it must be, they must sit with all triangle fighters and other fighters to have it en route with the ideas. It shouldn't be cosmetic. All themes in Uganda here are being brought to read the function and end there. If we adhere them, we must continue to face the reality as it ends. But when we shall go at Wadenge, give eloquent speeches, give colorful ceremonies, give whatever, without taking it to the root, so that the population and the fellow fighters guide us that to be a reality and to be realized as a reality, do the following. It will end in papers. A hero is not about soldiers. For example, it rotates within Rutamaguzi. Rutamaguzi, they suspected him together with his comrades that maybe they give surprise to his Excellency, the President, or they have hidden him, or he stays in their homes. So, by the time we have the people after when we overthrew the dictatorship regime, the dictatorial regime, whom the president removed from Luzira, those people stayed there out of the suspicion that they were close allies and sympathizers of the national resistance movement and army. They were taken to Luzira, and others died. they killed them. They said that they are refusing to give out information about the banditry that was taking place. Therefore, changing the idea of heroism being strongly attached to only fighters, because the fighters relied much on the population. And the synopsis of the fighting dictatorial was not a military wing, it was popular struggle. When we string up to only fighters, it will cause our people getting disenchanted, because this was a popular struggle, popular uprising, national resistance, not military insurrection and military mutinies. The future plans, as we have offered our pensions and terminal benefits to the government, to construct whichever vacuum is there. When there is a vacuum of schools, they construct them. And within that document, which we forwarded to the Minister of Defense, for us in our part, we don't dialogue for other factions, for only for NASA. State function. For example, when I die, we have resolved that they should not give me a state function or a state burial. That budget, they take it to my home district. They ask my people, what is missing here? What can't we build in memory of Matovu as a foundation? If they say, and we have made it categorically clear, they shouldn't involve my relatives. My relatives will be selfish to their side. They should involve the district leadership and population. When they say that we need a university, they construct a university in memory, that so that others can benefit. That one is to erode an element of greed and selfishness. That's what we are trying to resolve. My appeal to the Minister of Defense, Minister of Rural Triangle, and other stakeholders, because now when they created Operation Wealth Creation, other agencies joined, is to join with us, have table negotiations, including the population, so that we can lead developments and programs which are people and mass oriented, not even sitting in boardrooms, conferences to resolve for them. There are some times when we take a program, for example, you can prescribe to plant cassava in Western Uganda, whereas it has no market there, it is not applicable for them. Everything must root from the ground to the top, to the implementers. The appeal, now we must build corporate social responsibility. For example, we have NEMA. NEMA should get the budget and give organizations like Rural Triangle, like Fronasa Veterans Association, like women, whatever, so that they use that budget to plant trees. For them as technical people, they come to inspect them and see whether they have taken root. His Excellency the President, I request him to be so much serious with his programs which he initiates. Like on the social media, when the Minister, Honorable Kasoro, was inspecting this Paris development model, we found a commercial district commercial officer smuggling all the money. Let us create like how Burundi did. They created back cooperative society. The money goes to cooperative society. The public access themselves through cooperative societies, not making it direct to the people who smuggle it from the public. That of the corruption is as a result of not us who liberated the country. It is as a result of including much more those who didn't sacrifice for it, those who came from universities. Those of the universities, they came with their wishes and hope, because for them they say, I wish to be rich, I hope to be a minister. When you don't give them those portfolios, they are not pro you. For example, those who are opposing the president of the Republic of Uganda, they are not opposing what he has done. They are opposing the Kahogo syndrome. So we have to storm together with him that realization of the stomach aggrandizement. That's what is causing so. And very many membership in the political parties, the conflicts arose and are free, rotating on national cake. They brought that word which is now eating us, national cake. National cake means, when you move it to that ideology, it means sharing, shares, and you eat. So therefore, this should be national construction, national rehabilitation, national consolidation, not only any other. And we need to check the idea of remunerations and salaries. People come for salaries, for allowances, for terminal benefits, so that we can get those who will sacrifice for their country. If we don't do that, we shall keep getting those who come to reap what they didn't sow. I greatly thank His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, because he greatly supports FRONASA and other fighters. He has never forgotten us. We greatly thank UBC, and we have even wrote to the UCC and the Permanent Secretary, Minister of ICT and National Guidance, that they increase the budget to UBC to keep all these sensitization programs they have for the entire cross population, so that they can contribute ideas to their country. And greatly thank my fellow fighters, my fellow comrades, who we are going to be together for this celebration at Rwabenge, and I call them to come in big numbers so that the president can find his Barwanyi, as he is Sabarwanyi. When you fail to go there, they will ask him, did they all died or you neglected them? Thank you very much.